Oh, wow. Oh, I was like, I couldn't tell what your fan was, David.
Oh, we're on the
I
catwalk.
see it now.
I thought I grabbed my Jimbo one, and then I just realized, nope, this is not my Jimbo
American,
one.
apparently not. But, hola y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay, and I am currently drinking a strawberry coconut caffeinated beverage that I made today.
Ooh.
Because I had coconut milk in my fridge and I needed to use it.
That sounds good, actually.
I'm hoping this gives me energy because I am also a tired say something gay. It's been a long week.
Not Logan taking my tagline too.
I thought you saw me do it.
I didn't, but it's okay. I love that. Hi everyone, I am Lana, your tired resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know you hit me up. And as tired as I am, I will never, ever, ever give you less of me. I will give you all that I have in every podcast that I get. So you're going to get all of me today. I'm going to muster up all of my energy to give you the very best podcast I can give you.
I don't know how you're doing that.
Because, baby, I am superwoman. I am superwoman. But I am not drinking anything because I have drank way too much today trying to stay awake, and I am not thirsty anymore. But if I was drinking something, I would drink it in my cup mug because I went and got it because I didn't have it earlier. But cup mug, da 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 da, cup mug, da 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 da, cup mug, da da. You can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com, and you can get your cup mug and all your other cup merch and other things at the shop. So hit me up, and we do ship internationally, so you have no excuses.
And I'm David Healy, and I don't have a sexy intro, but I do have a sexy shirt. If you know, you know.
Oh,
and everybody's about to know. I'm wearing my Sasha Colby shirt.
I'm
wearing
it.
Yes, I'm wearing it because
she's
I'm wearing this shirt because I just saw Sasha Colby at my local bar last night. In fact, I met her. And I got to talk to her, and she complimented my shirt. And I told her it was so refreshing watching a season of Drag Race and never once being worried about my favorite leaving.
Period. Because she is a GODDESS. She's got it.
But oh yes, and that's the thing. During her second performance, she did the neck crack, and the entire bar lost it, like cheering.
I think I saw footage of that.
Oh yeah,
not from you, but I think from somewhere. Yeah. I was like, she might have shared it on her Instagram story, something like that. I don't remember, but
it was so good. She's so good. Oh my gosh.
I wish.
She
one of the best anywhere near me.
But I also am tired, like the rest of us, because
Tiredly accepting.
Yes. Because I stayed out way too late. I thought the drag show was going to end early, and it did not. And then I had to drop people off. So I was even late for work this morning because I was so tired.
You weren't on a 12-hour live stream last night like Lana was.
I know. But we all have legitimate reasons for being tired.
And I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day.
But guess what? As tired as we are, we're here to talk about Mexico. Oh, and he's drinking water, by the way, because that's what David drinks when he's tired. Water. When he's tired, usually. Yes. But we're here to talk about Mexico, and we're going to give you everything that we have. We're going to muster up all of our tired energy into one collective ball and give you an amazing podcast because the episode was all right.
I'm going to be honest.
I'm
tired of Mexico.
No.
It has nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with the cast. It has everything to do with production. I'm just,
I mean,
it's a little confusing. Some of the decisions are questionable.
Confusion,
sure. Sure.
But what is not confusing is the fact that we are still sad that Lady Kiddo has left.
Yeah. And Lady Kiddo, hey girl, hey. We see you liking our stuff, Lady Kiddo.
Hey girl.
Hey.
We love you.
You are
but yeah, she's gone. Everyone's sad. And then we walk into the workroom the next day, and then Lolita walks in. Oh, he's so hot. I just
I will say, I was like, Lolita's so cute. So cute. So cute. Like, yeah. I just feel like, I feel like when Lolita comes in the workroom area, out of drag, it gives me how I feel like of Nikki when Nikki walks in the workroom out of drag on France. Because I'm like, they're so dang cute. Like, my
I would say the same
God.
about I would say the same energy honestly about Valentina as well. Like, it's all always like positive, professional, still fun and like kind of flirty energy. But yeah, Valentina walks in with 4 hot people. And we find out that our maxi challenge this week is the makeover, but not just any makeover. We are making over people from 4 different Latin American countries.
Beautiful.
Loved this.
And they had beauty pageant sashes on.
Because it is a beauty pageant makeover challenge.
And I love that.
I love that they chose to go this direction with the makeover challenge. Because I mean, they're filming in Colombia. So like, to get one of them there was not that difficult. And the other 2 countries that aren't Mexico are like right there. So I love that since none of those other countries have a current Drag Race franchise, I love that we're able to highlight queer culture from those countries as well. And all of those conversations that they had in the workroom were really lovely and wonderful. So I loved it.
I love a good beauty pageant. I'm a beauty pageant kind of person. I love watching beauty pageants, and I love this universe because I get to see all the different beauty queens from all the different countries and all the different outfits. And I'm just a beauty pageant girl. I just like watching beauty pageants. So I was excited when they were like, this is a beauty pageant challenge. And I was like, great. Is it going to be like, I was like, can it be the world costumes? But then they were like, no, it's going to be evening gown, and that's fine. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Well,
but
not all of them.
Well, we'll get to that. But I was like, okay, but these men, let's talk about this gentleman who walks in the room with Valentina.
Let's do.
Because I was like, now hear me out. I don't usually do that for a lot of the men on the shows on Drag Race. I don't usually thirst after the guys on these shows because I leave that to David and Logan to do that because that's their realm and that's their world. I said what I said and I won't take it back. I'm tired, so I get to be this way. No, just kidding. But yeah, I don't usually do it. But I was like, hold on. Hello, Mr. Venezuela. And hello, Mr. Mexico.
They were all hot.
They were all so good looking. I was like, my God. I was fanning a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I don't know. They could be very much gay and have no interest in me at all, which is totally fine. I will just admire you from a distance because good looking is good looking no matter what your sexuality is. And baby, they were good looking. Good.
Not only were they physically attractive, but they had such attractive personalities to me.
Yes.
Like, it's hard to remember a group of makeover contestants that have just been so endearing, but I just like adored all 4 of these people. They just seem so sweet and energetic, and they had TV ready personalities. I would say probably especially the Colombian one that Matraka had.
Yes.
He just like had so much energy and was just an adorable little ball of fun. So
yes,
I like them all a lot.
You know what it was for me? I felt like these four guys were like the rugby players in France because I
Yeah.
thought all of them had the same like it just made me just want to root for them and be like, oh, they're so sweet and so kind and so open. And I just like watching their makeovers, and I love watching this makeovers because all,
Mhm.
like you said, David, their personalities were amazing. And I was
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I just really, I was rooting for it. I was rooting for them, and I was like, I just want to see them do well. But these are the first two makeovers that I've seen since I've started watching that I fell in love with the people who they were making over as much as I fell in love with the contestants who were making them over. So I was like,
Hmm.
France and Mexico did it for me this time. This
Yeah.
time.
And I think we should also like briefly talk about Cristian dividing them up. The thing that stood out to me was you could tell Matraka really wanted a specific contestant, and that was Mexico, I believe, because it was a fellow brown contestant. So I was like, I wish you could have got him. Like, it really is kind of frustrating somehow sometimes that people can be at kind of a disadvantage when they don't have somebody that kind of matches their complexion sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would have been great to see them be a bit more even, but I
Well,
mean,
Christian didn't divide them.
oh wait, Chris. Oh, you're
No,
right. You're right.
Christian pulled theirs first,
That's
but it was
right.
Right.
random.
Yeah. It was
That's right.
random.
Which is
I
how I
forgot.
think it should be, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree actually.
I would rather it be random than anything else. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm follow what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Look,
He's tired.
I'm
Tired.
tired.
I'm
Tired.
trust.
We get it.
We're trying to make it through.
We're all tired.
Yeah, I mean, like the workroom stuff with Valentina and Lolita is cute. The stories were really impactful, but like
It really wasn't a whole lot.
no.
When it was just
No
Other
like
trauma.
than
no drama because everybody
No
was
trauma.
no
no drama,
trauma, no trauma,
no
no
trauma.
drama.
Really, no.
Yeah,
It was like the one story was, I believe,
Oh yeah,
From
Colombia.
Venezuela or
Oh,
from Colombia.
yeah.
talking about
I
how people
I,
had. Oh,
tired.
that really did
but
make me sad when he talked about that. Like there was a post with 150 comments of people just talking badly about him. I'm like,
Yeah.
right,
oh,
yeah, because I think it was small, like you said, Venezuela, and then not yeah, Colombia, and then Venezuela because I think Matraka asked her person and Christian asked her person
Yes.
what it was like being queer
Mm-hmm.
in their countries, and they explained that it's not always accepted. Sometimes you got to hide things, and it's just like it's like that everywhere. Apparently, from in a lot of places, that sometimes you just can't be openly as happy as you want to be, and they're dealing with their struggles and navigating those
Mm-hmm.
waters. So I'm like. It wasn't the trauma that we were just like, oh God, no, it's so deep. But it's still like man, why can't people just
Yeah.
leave people alone and let
right.
people live their life? But the one step at a time, we got it. We'll get there. It's just
Yeah.
gonna take a minute for everybody to just leave people alone. But
Mm-hmm.
but then we just go right
We're there.
into the runway. Like it was
We're
like
there.
those stories happening, and it was like do 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 do. I was like, oh, we're here. Great, cool, wonderful.
And we have guest judge Laura Carmine, who is a
Hmm.
Puerto Rican actress living in
Hmm.
Mexico. So
Beautiful.
They were very excited about her.
They were excited.
we're very excited about her. I think, from what I understand, she is more of a telenovela star. So I guess I understand that. Gays love soap operas.
So,
I guess. So we're just gonna we're just gonna do that. Category is Miss Drag Latinoamerica. First up, Gala Varo and Dali Varo. I did not realize that Gala's name came from famous Mexican painters. And then when she was talking about it in the workroom, I was like, oh, and it made me love her even more than I already did. I was like, ah, yes.
The looks.
Huh?
I liked the other look more than Gala's look, I think. I think I like because okay. And I think because when you watch Miss Universe and you see Miss Venezuela, first of all, she's always stunning. Oh, she's always stunning. And she always has a sparkly gown. Her gown is always one of those dresses that stands out when she comes out. And so I was like, that stands true. Seeing that sparkly dress on Miss Venezuela, I was like, that stands true to what we see on Miss Venezuela at Miss Universe pageants. I didn't like the blue though. I don't like the blue part. But I get what it was there for. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense and I understand it. I just don't know if I like it. And I think I love that they switched it up and put the sparkly part on the back instead of making Gala's dress look exactly like it. I like the concept of it. I just don't like the way it looks together. I don't like the technique. I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love the mug beat to the gods. They look amazing. Like if I know better, that was the next drag race person. Like they said, season 2, he needs to be on the show because my God, can his face take makeup? Like it looks amazing. But yeah, I don't like the blue, but
so this was my favorite. I think just top to bottom, I think Gala really understood this challenge and got, the approach of Miss Venezuela. I think I understand what you mean with the dresses, Lana. I do disagree just because I love the way that Dali's looks with the gold than with the blue peplum. There's something a little bit strange about Gala's peplum. I think it comes up a little bit too high. And I think that was intentional, and I don't know whether it should have been. But I just think the performance of this was my favorite. The makeover itself of this was my favorite. The garments were my favorite. I don't think anyone did spectacularly amazing in this challenge, but I do think this was the most successful makeover for me.
Yeah, so before Miss Venezuela here, Dali got in drag, I was kind of getting Valentina vibes just by the shape of her face and even the hair a bit. So I'm like, I bet she's going to be a pretty drag queen. But I didn't expect her to be this pretty. Like, she looked like she's been doing this for a while. The only thing as a knock for her was that I noticed she kept looking down like the whole time. Her eyes were looking down, like watching where she was walking. But that's fine. This is her first time doing this. But as far as the dresses go, I actually really like these, and I have no problem with the blue. I do think it looks better on Dali, just because I think the kind of gold. I don't know what color that is.
It's gold.
It's gold. Okay.
I know you've been having an issue with colors as of recent, David. It was gold.
Yes. Okay. I think that just works better as the actual like main part of the garment. So the blue is pretty complementary towards it, but I still like Gala's as well. I think they both look great, and I do like that they're kind of doing like opposite kind of looks here with like the fabrics. But I am going to have to agree with Logan. This was my favorite of the night.
We're
and
agreeing?
I know we are. I had gotten some misinformation somehow, and I think I had heard that Gala was going to be in the bottom 2. And when she came out in this, I'm like, wait, this is the bottom 2? Because how? And everybody else must be amazing. But luckily, she was not in the bottom two. She probably should have gotten a win, but that's just me.
Agreed. But we'll.
It's the construction for me for Gala's dress that I'm just not. Is that blue over that gold pant? Like
I think what would have done it better for me, and I know they were limited on fabric, so I don't know whether this was possible whatsoever, but I wish on Gala's gown the blue had been a blue glittery fabric with a matte gold fabric. I think if you swap the textures and make the textures the same on both gowns, but the colors different, I think that would have done it for me a little bit better.
I mean, I think for me, if they would have, even if you would have made the same dress that Venezuela is wearing in blue, and then stopped it like you did at the hip and had that open space instead of making that panel look like it's just hanging over the front of that gold fabric, it makes her look bigger than she is in the stomach area. So I'm like, that's the point that throws me off. But it's not a bad. And I think with a hemline cut is that a seam right there going down them? It's just a weird seam going across for me. That's what's throwing me off with Gala's look. I think Venezuela's look is perfectly fine. I think that panel in the front and that seam going across is just weird in Gala's look. But
I see what you're saying. But do we know for a fact that they all made their?
Yes.
Okay.
They did have to make
their.
their.
If you remember, Cristian asked her partner whether he could sew.
That's
because
right.
Cristian does not sew, as we remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they all had to make them there.
We did
not see any of the construction of these garments.
No.
But allegedly,
still, that's very impressive that they all made these.
Yes, for sure.
Scores.
Me?
Sure.
Okay. I will give this, because it's not a horrible look. I just wasn't that impressed. But I will give it a 75.
I will give it an 82.
I'm going to give it a 90. Next up, representing Colombia, is Matraka and Maraca.
Maraca. I love that.
I loved the name Matraka.
I was like, that's cute. I didn't hate this look either. I know people was mad at the poncho part that they wore at the beginning and took off. I didn't.
They are?
Like the judges didn't like it. They didn't like, and I was like, I didn't mind that. I thought that was actually a cute little representation for Colombia. It was like, this is our, this is what we wear in my country, and then we're gonna take it off and be fabulous and gorgeous in our gowns. It's a gown. It's a pretty gown, pretty fabric. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's not blowing my mind crazy, but it's pretty. And I think Matraka looks gorgeous. Her makeup always looks amazing. I think I love their performance. I think for me, their performance was my favorite performance of the night. I just enjoyed their performance. I thought they fit each other well. And I love that Matraka came out with the sash and then was like, and now me presenting you, Miss Colombia.
It felt very past Miss Colombia, passing
to the new Miss Colombia. Yeah, and she's like, she was very, it was so great. I loved it.
This girl right here needs to do drag.
Actress.
She needs to be on season 2 of Drag Race Mexico.
I mean, I think
season 1 of Drag Race Colombia.
Or Drag Race Colombia. Exactly.
They have the stage already, so
period. So I love that. I kind of like that.
I think this is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually my least favorite. And it's not by a whole lot. But the reason why is I do think Matraka looks gorgeous. And I think the gown that she made for herself is really flattering for her. I don't think the gown she made for Maraca is as flattering. Mm-hmm. I think where it gathers on the side, it kind of just cuts off her waist altogether. So she looks shorter in the torso and shorter in the leg. And I know she is, but I don't want to see that. I want her body to be elongated to the point where she looks like she's as tall as Matraka is. I also thought the hair was an interesting choice. It kind of came down in a weird like curl situation that I didn't love. I didn't really love the way that the top was draped all that much. And these are just nitpicking things. I think they both do look gorgeous. It's just like there were some stylistic choices here that ultimately made this my least favorite. And I'm pretty sure I know what y'all's least favorite is going to be, and I get it. But I love Matraka. And again, it's not by much, but I think this would be my least favorite.
Well, this is definitely not my least favorite. This was a close second for me this night. I actually think this is the least clockable as far as it being made in the workroom that week. Like when I found out that she had just made this, I was very surprised. And like Lana said, I think this was the best delivery we got from anybody on the runway. Like the charisma that Maraca has is just like insanely high. Like she really needs to be doing something with that because she's so talented, and I don't know. I just want to watch her. But my only issue here, it doesn't even really have to do with Matraka. It has to do with the box that they have with this challenge. They all had to do these pageant looks, and I don't think Matraka is a pageant girl. So she really could not express her own interpretation of drag with this challenge. And that was what kind of disappointed me. I think the other three contestants, they already kind of fit in the pageant box to some degree. Some more than others, but Matraka is just not in that box. She should not be forced to do a pageant type of look. But she still really, really did well with it. At least I thought. So she shouldn't have been in the bottom two for me. I thought it was crazy, honestly. Very good.
Fair. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Scores.
For me, I will give this look an 83.
I'm going to give this an 80.
I am also going to give this an 80.
Lovely.
Next is Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe, and Yohanna Voce.
Yohanna Voce. Queen of the Earth.
Queen of the Meaty Talk.
Okay, we got it mixed up. It was Mexico that Lana and I liked, and it was Venezuela that Logan
Yes,
liked.
that's what I've been saying this whole time.
I like both of them, so I didn't change. I like Mexico and
I know
Venezuela.
Lana's been consistent. I've been consistent. David is mixing up his homosexuals.
No,
what else is new?
Because we were talking about we both like the one that shaved, and that was
I
Mexico.
said, yeah, but I said Regina's person. So I didn't know what country, but
Yep.
I just know it was Regina's person who I like.
David's mixing up his homosexuals again.
Not that. I just know he looked gorgeous. Like this face, this mug beat to the everlasting gods. Like like what? He looks amazing in the face. He looks amazing in the face. And then when he turned around, I was like, yes, cake. Yes, here for it. That's as far as my compliments are going to go. Because
really?
I didn't like this look. I didn't like them together.
Okay.
I didn't like them together. And I mean, I feel like I get what Regina was doing. I get she's like, one is going to show off the swimsuit, one is going to show off the evening gown because that's the whole pageant thing. I get it. I would have rather you started off in the evening gown and then did a reveal on the runway and say, and now we're in the swimsuit. Because it's like, why are we coming? That's your drag daughter when you're supposed to be doing this together. And I guess you're trying to think outside the box, and that's great. It just didn't hit for me. I felt like it was I love the headpiece on both of them. I love the headpiece on both of them. I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. And I think both of them looked amazing in their mugs and speed, but I just didn't like the delivery of this. And so that's what drove me crazy is the delivery of it. And I was like, I wanted you to come out in the evening gown and then reveal that both of you reveal, and then to see Regina take that dress off in the lip sync when we move forward. And I'm like, you had a swimsuit? Like, what did we what did we do this?
I feel like she knew she was gonna lip sync, so I think that's why she had it on.
I guess, but my God,
she was ready to do so.
She was ready to do so. See, the thinking outside the box and the evening gown swimsuit competition separation is actually what I like about this look. I still would have put her in the bottom 2. This is my number 3 of the evening because I like that little bit of difference. I love that Regina, Queen of the Universe, looked at her partner and said, what can I do to show off my partner in the best way? And this is what she came up with. And I thought that was a really smart way of showing off her partner and showing off like how gorgeous her partner is in this circumstance. I think the dress is fine. She's not known for her fashion. I get it. The bodysuit is fine. I like the accessories. The headpieces are great. But I liked that there was a little bit of a spin on it, and it wasn't all 4 sets of people coming out in evening gowns. But I still would have had her in the bottom.
Yeah, I definitely would have had them in the bottom as well. For me, though, I think my issue really came down to the fact that I think Regina could have done better at feminizing her partner here, because honestly, he seemed like such a straight dude walking down the runway. Like he seems straighter. Like I'm assuming they're all gay since they're Drag Race fans. I don't know for sure, but he seemed like straighter than like most of the straight guys we see on these shows. Just the way he was walking. And so I think maybe him being in the gown would have helped him be a little bit more feminized instead of showing like kind of masculine legs. But
baby, there's some thighs right there. There's some thighs right there.
I don't mind. I don't care.
I never said I mind. I said there's some thighs right there.
I'm also just saying I don't mind.
He looked better tucked in the tutorial that we forgot to mention than he does right here.
I was like, he don't look tucked here.
Not at all.
No,
but I mean, we seen everything.
Yeah, I that's when I was drooling watching him after that tutorial. I was like, okay. But yeah, I think overall the outfits are just on the simple side for me, and I agreed with the judges that the black kind of muted them compared to everybody else. So yeah, it's probably my least favorite of the night.
Mine too.
I do also not mine. I do also love that they went. I love that Regina immediately said, "I'm not putting us in a green, white, and red gown." Right. That I really enjoyed as well. I thought that just the ingenuity of this just put it above Matraka by just a hair. Speaking of the bunny, who's not here, just a hair. But scores.
I would give it a 70.
I'm thinking a 69.
Nice.
I'm gonna give them an 82.
Cool.
And last up, we have Cristian Peralta and Gaby Peralta.
I like them. I like the make. Well, I don't know if I like them or not.
I'm bored. I'm bored by Cristian's drag. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. She's probably a lovely individual. I'm bored. This is what we've seen all season from her. And there have been some really great moments of her doing things outside of her box, but most of it has been in her box. And apparently that is a box that the judges are checking over and over and over and over and over again. That just is never going to resonate with me. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lana. I didn't mean to. She won because she let her partner keep her beard. I'm going to say it. If nobody else is.
I mean, that's an oversimplification.
But am I wrong?
So what I like, sorry to skip you, Lana,
No,
but I
go
just want
ahead.
to respond to the beard thing. So what I did like is that when they were in the workroom, and as soon as her partner expressed that she wanted to keep the beard, it was not even 1 second of hesitation for Christian. She went with it. She was excited for her queen. She was gonna make it work. And I really admired that. And then what I liked is that they kind of incorporated that into the story on the runway, which I thought was cute with her having the razor. So I did appreciate that. But as far as the gowns go, they're so simple and basic and exactly what you would expect. Nothing too exciting here at all. So she's a great actress, and I really think that's part of why Christian got the win, is because she knows how to deliver whatever she's doing, and I think she did a good job of elevating her partner up a little bit, because I don't know that her partner had the natural charisma on the stage as the Columbia one that Matraka had. But overall, yeah, I'm also pretty bored. Like, it's crazy that she's got 5 wins after this, especially when I thought a few people were definitely better tonight.
I mean, yeah, I agree. It's not exciting. It's not spectacular. It's fine. But I I do think she, like you said, David, she knows how to sell herself, regardless of what she was wearing, regardless of who she is had with her on the runway. Christian knows how to sell herself, and she knows how to, and she did a great job at getting her partner to know how to sell themselves as well. And sometimes that's all it takes. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you can sell crap to people and they buy it, like we see it all the time. There's some crap merchandise out there, but people are flocking to buy it because they know how to market it and sell it. And we buy it because it's told us like it's the most amazing thing ever. And then we get it and be like, why did we buy this crap? Because I don't even need this. But it was sold to us and we bought it. The judges are bought into Christian. And as basic and bored as you might be of this gown and this aesthetic and this look, she has sold it in a way that people are buying it, and they are buying it. And she looks fine. Like, she elevated, I think, her person. The person looks beautiful. He kept the beard, and they incorporated it into the story. She sold the story. She sold the look. She sold them. And we might not agree with it, but she sold the heck out of it. And I bought it. I bought it. I bought it. I bought into their story. I bought into their runway. The dress is fantastic. No, the look isn't fantastic. But everybody's look wasn't. I thought Matraka's look was okay, but I bought their story. I fell in love with the story and how they presented it on the runway. So same thing with Christian. It's the story. It's the way they presented it. And a lot of artists, drag artists, sometimes they don't have the best of everything, but they have to get on that stage and sell it for everybody to enjoy their performance. And that's what Christian did. So I'm not gonna fault her for getting the win that I feel like she earned it. It might not be what we like, but she sold the heck out of it.
I also don't like that you can see her partner's panties under the gown because of how sheer the dress
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Just like,
but at least look. She looked tucked in there.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
She looked tucked in there
I'm
because
She was having problems.
Yeah.
Gala gave them that tutorial how
She's
to
the only
tuck it
one we
on in
didn't
there.
get the tuck reveal from.
Literally.
But because they knew we were going to see it on the runway in those panties, so they were like, "You don't need to see it. You'll see it later."
No.
But
Scores.
I will give it a 79.
I'm gonna give it a 70.
I'm still gonna give it an 85 because am I bored? Yes. Is it well done? Yes. So like I can't.
She sold it.
I can't say it's not well done. I can't. But she does end up getting the win for this, which
People agree. People don't agree.
You agree, Lana?
I say he's fine.
And for once, David and I agree.
Well, I don't. None of us perfectly agree here because I think I'm the only one that would have Cristian in the bottom.
I would not put Cristian in the bottom.
You would have Gala in the bottom. You'd have Matraka in the bottom.
I wouldn't have Matraka in the bottom. I'll have Regina in the bottom.
No. Okay, I pointed. Sorry. You would have Gala in the bottom.
I would
have
Regina
Matraka
in the bottom.
And we would all have Regina in the bottom.
Okay, let's go over everything. David, who was your winner?
My winner was Gala.
Same. Okay. And Lana's winner was Cristian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My bottom two was Regina.
No, my winner would probably be Matraka.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Great. I like that.
Mm-hmm. My bottom two is Regina and Cristian.
My bottom two would be Regina and Gala.
And my bottom two would be Regina and Matraka, which is what we got.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. We would all have a different.
Okay, yeah.
I knew where you were going, and I was like, I just need to streamline this so everyone gets it.
Yeah, because I would have Gala good now. Interesting. Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting. This lip sync. To El Bonbon Asesino. I can't speak. Tired. By Nina Conde. This is my favorite lip sync of the season.
Oh.
I loved this lip sync. I love that we saw a very different side to Matraka lip syncing than we saw in Bizconchito. And I am just and I have been since Queen of the Universe, but I am so enamored by the way Regina Voce performs. And there's something about her that I'm just so captivated by. I thought all of her movements were so good. They both had such beautiful fluidity in the way that they moved and like embodied the song. And then when they played off of each other, it was so good to me. And the song was what I expected from lip syncs from Drag Race Mexico. If I'm going to be honest, like that, these are the kinds of songs I expected to hear as lip sync songs, and it did not disappoint for me in the slightest.
I will say, my eyes were definitely drawn towards Matraka the whole time. I'm not saying Regina did bad. Like from what I did catch, she was doing great. But there's just something about Matraka and the way she performs that is like so captivating to me because it's so interesting and so different than how anybody else lip syncs. Like she's just, man, it's like she just has like this incredible way of improvising different dance moves, like on the second, on the fly. And I just can't stop watching her. I'm smitten with Matraka. She's like an all-time favorite for me right now.
I think in a similar way in this lip sync, I was kind of smitten with Regina. Matraka did incredible as well. Like they both did very, very well. For me, there was just a little something about Regina Voce that I was like, yes.
Well,
break the tie.
I will break the tie.
I was gonna say, watch Lana hate this lip sync.
That would be a gag.
Better not.
I didn't. I hated every second. No, I could not.
You can't hate anything with Matraka.
I know. I was gonna say I can't hate anything that Matraka's doing. It's not in my nature. It's not in my being to hate anything that Matraka's doing. I love this lip sync. I really did love this lip sync because I thought they both did so good. I had to watch it twice so I can make sure to focus on each of them. I watched it twice because I wanted to make sure I focused on each of them, each time they were on the stage. So I watched Matraka first because that's what my eye initially started to focus on in the beginning. So I was like, let me just watch Matraka this whole time. And then I'll go back and I'll watch Regina the whole time. So I watched Matraka the first time and I was like, ugh. I felt like you, David. I was like, ugh. I'm in love with Matraka. She was giving me everything. She was so fluid in her movements and her eyes and the way she just She was so good. She was so good. And I was like, yes. Oh. Then I went back and watched Regina, and I was like, oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, Miss Mamas. I was like, yes. I was living. And so I was like, this is just a really good lip sync. Both of them did really, really good. But for me, I'm probably leaning more towards David with Matraka. And when I say by inches and like smidges, it was I think for me, it was the way Matraka like moved throughout the stage, because I love a performer that takes over the entire stage. I love a performer who just owns every part of that stage that they're in, and it's not like, okay, let me hit my mark. Okay, let me hit my mark. Okay, let me go like here. It was just like, this is just what I naturally do, and I'm here. And Regina, she owned her part, but she was really stationary. And when she got to her place, she owned that place, and she just was there, and she was there, and then she was there, and then she moved. Then she moved, and then she was there, and she was there, and she was there, and then she moved, and she was there, and she was there, she was there. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but it was too like planned, and Matraka's was so natural, and that was the only thing. But that for me is why I felt like Matraka won this lip sync for me. Sure. But it was so close, but it was so good. It was one of those lip syncs that I will go back and rewatch. And y'all know I don't go back and rewatch nothing. Once it's done for me. I will go back and rewatch this one because I thought it was really good.
Remember how we started this season and we were like, "Oh God, this is not a
lip sync.
This is not a lip sync season." And then, like, honestly, the last like 4 lip syncs have been incredible.
Because Gala and Matraka last week, stop
2 weeks ago, yep.
Stop it. That
between Gala, Matraka, and Lady Carol, they've been carrying the lip syncs this season. Right. With Arhennis, I will not discredit Arhennis whatsoever because Arhennis is an incredible performer as well.
But yeah, oh my God.
Thankfully for us, they didn't send anyone home.
Yeah. Now I got spoiled, and I knew that it was going to be a double Shantae.
I also.
I can't imagine what it would have been like seeing Regina
or
be called. Well, I mean, the fact that they called Regina as safe first, I can't imagine like thinking Matraka was gonna go. Did you know Matraka was staying, Lana?
Yes, because Logan told me.
Oh, okay.
I was like, well, so there was a universe where Lana, a Queen of the Universe, where we had
wasn't going to be here,
where Lana wasn't going to be here, and so I was like, you don't have to because no one goes home. So like it was way before the episode, but I knew, and so I was like, you don't have to if you don't want to. And obviously, this has been a fun recording, so I'm happy you're here. But like, I was like, allegedly they both stay.
And when I saw the lip sync, I was like, allegedly they should stay.
Allegedly they both should stay.
They should stay.
Yeah. So we have a top 4, which I think is really, honestly, with this top 4, the only correct way to finish out this season, if I'm being honest.
I agree because I'm sorry, I cut you off. Because I felt like when Cristian was like, I can't imagine a finale without Matraka. I was like, me either.
Right.
Like, way to shade Gala and Regina.
No, but she said, but even in that, she's like, I love Gala and I love Regina, and I think they do deserve to be in the final. She said, but I can't honestly see a final without Matraka. And I was like, me either, because Matraka has been doing so well, especially in this last half of the competition. She's really stepped up her game, and all of them, like, I feel like Gala started strong, had some down moments, and came back up stronger. And then Cristian, not Christina. Well, you know,
bring me the axe.
Bring me Cristian. Cristian has had the moments where Cristian has been winning. Cristian just been up top, like just been winning. And Regina is like the same with Gala with me. Like she'll have her ups, she'll have her downs, it ebbs and flows. Matraka started okay, but ended so strong. So I'm like, all of these girls deserve to be in this finale. I couldn't see this finale without all of them, because I feel like they all deserve to be there. I mean, you know, I thought Lady Carol could be there too. If we go to that because I thought Lady Carol, but that's not me. I wouldn't judge. But I agreed with that when she said it. I was like, me either. I agree. I think all of these. So I was very happy that they all got to stay. And usually, the inner Logan will come out. Somebody should go home anyway. But no, I didn't feel that for
Not
this
in this
one.
case.
Not in this case. I felt like
No.
everybody would deserve this spot. And I'm glad that they get to do the finale. And I don't know how they go do the finale, but it was great. I mean, if they have it, we will.
Yeah. So next week seems to be reunion.
According to the fandom wiki, they're saying reunion.
Cool.
So I'm gonna assume that it is a reunion.
Well, great. Let's do the reunion.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very curious for our commenters. Whose team are you on? You've seen everything so far. Are you Team Matraka, Team Cristian, Team Gala, Team Regina?
And you all have been very vocal in our comments, so don't get quiet on us now. Tell us how you really feel, and tell us who team you on. Because baby, I know what team. I have two teams. One is my draft team, and I feel like I would be remiss to go against the people who are in my draft because I want to win the draft. But my heart pick is Team Matraka. Can't pull it apart. Like if Matraka wins, I would be very happy. But Team Cristian and Team Regina Voce is Team Lana. So
I'm gonna be really honest. At this point, Cristian's winning. Like there is no other universe at this point. I don't see them crowning anyone other than Cristian.
I can see him crowning Matraka.
I disagree.
I can see him crowning Matraka.
I can't. I think Matraka at this point, with the edit she's gotten on this season, is prime versus the world material.
But does she speak English?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think all of the three that don't win, for me, probably Regina Voce, Gala, and Matraka. I think they all speak English, so I think it wouldn't be an issue, but
I can see Gala versus the world person.
Yeah.
I could definitely see Regina Voce. I think because she's been on both Queen of the Universe now and Drag Race, I think she could come back with a bigger budget. I could see Regina Voce doing very well on a versus the world, and I think I would like to see it personally. But where we are at, oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I just think that I would not be surprised if when the Twitter account does, whose team are you on? Team level. I think it's going to be overwhelming support from Matraka because
I
she's
absolutely
just
agree with you.
So that's going to be hard. Like, how do you not crown her?
I don't see a universe where they crown anyone other than Cristian, because as well, Cristian is now the fourth queen to win 5 or more challenges on a single season of Drag Race. And she is now the second person to do it on a regular season of Drag Race.
Who's the other?
Angela Yanang from Drag Race
and that's
Thailand
exactly what
2.
I thought, where they gave out 2 wins per episode. So that hardly even counts.
No. Thailand had 1 winner per episode.
No, they give a win for the challenge and a win for the runway. They do.
Not the way that the statistics are counting it. The statistics are counting maxi challenge wins.
Okay.
And Angela Yanang has 6 maxi challenge wins. So that's how I'm reading it. So that's what I'm saying. Or I think it's 5 plus a runway win or something. Either way, she has 5 maxi challenge wins. Regardless, I don't care about this, but let's talk about the draft. David, you have 50 points. And Lana, you have 54.
54.
So
I'm still winning. So
whoever the winner is the winner of the season, basically. Is the winner of the draft. So I think we'll be back next week with the reunion. Probably. If it's interesting enough.
Look, we'll
it might be a really
in
short episode.
Yeah.
If it's not interesting, we might just put it in with the finale episode.
We might also just put it in the finale because Brazil starts next week, so we also have Brazil to do.
Oh yeah.
So we may or may not be back next week with the reunion. Regardless, we will be back in 2 weeks with the finale.
What's a good way for them to know if we're gonna do the episode next week?
I think you need to hit that notification bell and subscribe, and that way you'll know when each of our videos drop, and you will never miss an episode of our.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to do that. Well, specifically Twitter and Instagram is where the schedule goes out. But you can also look at all of our funny moments because we are some funny bitches. And you can also, while you're in the description, go get some merch.
I mean, you can just follow me, David or Logan, because guess what? I always post the schedule on my own Twitter and my own Instagram.
And if you follow me on Twitter, you can see a picture of me with the one and only Sasha Colby.
And then you can always jump over to the Cup TV channel and then follow us and subscribe over there so you can get all of your reality TV needs and follow us over there. That aren't drag, because we do talk about things that aren't drag race.
Surprisingly.
So we do that over there because this is all drag here, but we do that over there. So if you like reality TV, join us over there. We love to have you and get yours and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and you'll see more of us.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So long, farewell. Goodbye.
See you later.
Bye.
Adios. Goodbye.